As of April 14th, the IRS and Treasury announced they have issued 5 batches of stimulus payments, about 159 million stimulus payments totaling over $376 billion. Now, this is that third stimulus check. The IRS has been sending it in batches as it learns more about recipients, either from people filing tax returns or from talking to other federal agencies. The payments first started on March 12th. The first batch went out on March 12th. And now we're over a month after that, and we're on batch number 5, with more still to come. Let's talk about who got a stimulus payment in that batch number 5. It was largely some Social Security beneficiaries, some Veteran Affairs compensation and pension beneficiaries, and some people that filed the tax return for the very first time. It was about 320,000 payments that went to Veteran Affairs compensation and pension beneficiaries who don't traditionally file a tax return. In this batch also, 72,000 payments went to Social Security, SSI, SSDI beneficiaries who don't typically file a tax return. About 850,000 payments went to eligible individuals who weren't known to the IRS before, but who filed a tax return maybe for the first time and they saw a stimulus payment. 700,000 payments were supplemental or plus up payments. Maybe you've heard about those on the news. This is someone that got a stimulus check in an earlier batch and then filed a 2020 tax return, and it showed that their income went down and therefore they were entitled for more stimulus money. So they got a second check. How the money was sent, this is a trend we've been seeing this third time along, more electronically than before. A larger percentage of payments was made electronically than any previous round. The IRS tells us that about 95% of all Social Security beneficiaries were paid electronically this round. That's compared to about 70% in the first round and 72% in that second check. This fifth batch of payments included 1.2 million direct deposit payments and 800,000 paper checks thus far. So what's next? The IRS says it's going to continue to make economic impact payments or send stimulus payments on a weekly basis. Ongoing payments will be issued to people who qualify for plus up payments as people continue to file 2020 tax returns, because that deadline again has been pushed into May. So more people are still filing their 2020 tax return. Ongoing payments will be sent to eligible individuals formerly unknown to the IRS, but who recently filed a tax return. And the IRS is therefore reminding people they really urge you to file a tax return for 2020, a federal one, if you're not someone who traditionally does so. They've seen so many instances of people that are eligible not only for stimulus payments, but for other tax credits, and they can get that money in direct deposit or by paper check or by debit card. Now, dependents, here is another big alert from the IRS. Let's say you're a Social Security beneficiary and you got a stimulus payment. You may be entitled to more money. The information the IRS has about you might not include qualified dependents. You could get an additional $1,400 for every dependent you have. And if you file a tax return, they will learn about those individuals and they can process that check. So they are saying, even if you already got a stimulus payment, make sure that if you don't file traditionally a tax return, that you do indeed do so for 2020, and they can then give you the rest of the money that you are entitled to. All of this information is repeated in the description below in a press release that comes from the IRS. We also give you more information on how to file a tax return for the first time if you have not yet done so.